16.
Yeah, and I suppose with so many big names going out as well, you've got a decent chance of being on, whoever wins this match, being on table 1 again. It's always nice to play your matches on the marquee table. So that's an incentive in itself to stay on this table. There you see, you can play it as a kind of a shot to nothing. Will be leaving a lot easy for his opponent should he miss it, which he has done.
Gary Wilson, 16.
Not sure if the red that's closest to the cue ball is available to the left corner for Mark to play a similar shot. I presume not, otherwise Gary wouldn't have played it, surely. Start of another season for Mark Williams. We talk about the famous trio, himself, John Higgins and Ronnie Sullivan, turned pro in '92, and you wonder how many seasons they've got left.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? The longevity, not just to keep going, but to keep going at the top level. There's his wife Joanne and one of their sons there, avidly watching on. And like I say, he just doesn't change, does he, Mark? You know, he's just the same character. He's always been very down to earth, laid back. Doesn't take things too seriously, but equally he's a fantastic competitor at the same time, once he gets out there.
Yeah, probably possesses the best temperament the game's ever seen. Never known a player be able to get over the disappointment of a bad shot or a bad frame and just get on with it as quickly as he does. This is an aggressive shot choice. Right in the back of the pocket, beautifully struck. Has to be too hard to be on the black. Is he on the blue even? Cue ball's finished very close to that red. Yeah, I'm not sure he's even on the blue. Pretty tight. His age, his eyes are probably not as good as they used to be either, David, surely.
Well, I think he actually wears glasses at times, doesn't he, off table? So that would tend to bear that out.
Yeah, he borrows mine when in restaurants to... Unfortunately, it's not to read the bill. No looped on, but that's... I mean, if you're looking for a sort of quintessential Mark Williams shot, that is it right there.
Oh.
Nobody in the game has ever dropped more balls dead weight into the pockets than Mark Williams.
5.
Yeah, beautiful shot, wasn't it? We'll see it again, I'm sure. And it's a different kind of shot, but at the Masters last season, beat Ronnie O'Sullivan. And the decider first shot dropped a long red in. Again, sort of floated it in, all or nothing style. And it was his temperament that kept him in this British Open 2 years ago. So many people had chances to beat him along the way. Remember, they started off that year best of 5, so it was very tight early on. But no one could get over the line against him. And of course, the deeper he went, the more of a favourite he was with his experience of winning titles to nail the final, which he did from 4 each against Wilson. That's the last ranking event he won 2 years ago. Took his tally to 24.
He's going into the bunch here, wants to hit the middle red of the 3. Yeah, that red was never going to open them up. He didn't play this with as much pace
18.
as I thought he might.
Mark Williams, 18.
A little bit careless to take the cue ball into the brown. Does Gary Wilson have a look at this red to right corner? He doesn't turn many pots down, this player. And that's why.
1.
Beautifully struck. Okay, he's just lost the cue ball slightly. Big shot this in his first frame. Cue ball went into the reds. Yeah,
Gary
that
Wilson,
could
1.
cost him this frame. Wasn't easy. And you've always got half an eye on where the cue ball's going, as well as the pot.
One.
I'll put it another way. It should cost them the frame, the way the balls are situated.
Mark Williams got to
6.
the final of the Championship League. That was the first ranking event of the season, so he built up quite a few points there in the race to the Players Series events.
7.
World Grand Prix, the first one in January. Qualified for the 2 upcoming ranking events in China, in the Wuhan Open and International Championship as well. He said he made a decision during the pandemic when things sort of stopped for a
12.
while that he was just going to carry on playing snooker, regardless of his standard and where he was in the
13.
Man, that was a pretty good shot, actually.
20.
Never easy to control the cue ball when the object ball's right over the jaws of the pocket. And he played it really pretty well to give himself the choice of 2 reds. It's not perfect.
$21.
It's such an economical style. Mark Williams never hits the ball harder than he needs to. Very rarely see you overhit anything. Absolutely beautiful touch, as is shown there with that little shot from the blue to red.
26. $27.
first played in this tournament 30 years ago in his debut season, the 92-93 season. The game was different then. There were hundreds of professionals. He had to start right in the very first round. He won 8 matches just to get to the last 64.
33.
And David Rowe, one of the top players of the time, beat him there, but it was early signs that he's going to be something special.
$34.
Really is a beautiful player to watch.
42.
The oldest ever ranking event winner is a fellow Welshman, Ray Reardon, won a title at the age of 50. Mark Williams turned 48 earlier this year. Same age as Higgins. Ronnie will be
48.
48 in December. Wouldn't put it past one of them, maybe all three of them, breaking that record.
49.
Came up short, didn't he, in the Masters final to Judd Trump. He played well in that tournament. As I say, beat O'Sullivan along the way, but Trump won a pretty battling final. But as ever, Williams just took it on the
54.
chin and got on with the next tournament and the next tournament. This is a good start.
55.
He's looking really good here on the main table tonight. Beat Stephen Maguire on table 2 yesterday, 4-2.
$60. Mark Williams.
Yeah,
60.
nice start. Very
And the
solid
French.
60. Gary Wilson overcut that black, left the chance. Mark Williams did the rest. So the Welshman in front at 1-0. Iran's same for Faye, 1-0 up on table 2 against Yuan Sijun. Table 3, Matthew Stevens, Fergal O'Brien still in the first frame. The winner of that one, Stevens O'Brien, plays Jack Lazowski or Matt Selt. That would be a bit of a contrast, wouldn't it? Lazowski O'Brien in terms of styles.
And not only has Gary Wilson got to obviously score heavily to win this match, but he's got to outfox Mark Williams in this kind of situation, which is very, very difficult. And that last pot attempt from Mark might have looked like a slightly rash shot, but it was so clever. Again, didn't overhit it and left the cue ball somewhere where he was never going to leave the red should he miss. I think if he can, Gary Wilson, obviously the balls dictate, but he's got to play, I think, more aggressive safety shots, bringing balls into play. Because I think this kind of exchange, there's only one winner.
Yes, there's only been one winner between them, actually, in their 4 meetings. Mark Williams has won them all. That final was the highest profile they've played since then in the Players' Championship. But they've all gone the same way. just always been such a great single ball potter again. It can either lead to just 1 point scored and a good safety, or if you're on a colour, obviously, the start of a break. Either way, you take control of the frame.
Three.
Well, it's not the red he played on, but he's going to take this to the far corner. Oh, I think he thought
Mark
he got
Williams,
it.
3. One. Six.
Yeah, just didn't get close to the bunch. Oh, big shot, wasn't it? Big shot.
Wilson,
And
6.
always the danger, of course, you're going to leave it on like that if you miss it. Brave shot to take on, but he didn't get it.
1.
They're not really wriggling in these. You've got to be so precise.
Hit it good. You really did. Oh, is Mark just nipped behind that red? Is he
8.
still on this one? Oh, he's not on it. Amazing. I thought he'd played the shot perfectly. I think he just... No, he's playing safe. A little bit unlucky there.
Mark Williams, 8.
A little bit of a let off for Gary Wilson. Shows you when you're playing positional shots, it's fractions. It can be millimeters sometimes. What the best players in the world are dealing with when it comes to pinpoint positional play.
Hossein Vafai has gone 2-0 up on table 2 against Yuan Sijun. Of course, Vafai has already won the shootout and would love to win another tournament. He's a great character, terrific player. And if he does come through that, he'll play either Graham Dott or Ashley Carty.
This safety shot here, okay, it's not easy. He's got a chance to a little bit more aggressively, slightly thicker contact, try and bring more reds open. Of course, you need to get a good cue ball, but it just forces Mark into playing maybe a safety shot that he doesn't want to play. He likes to play neat and tidy safeties, well, there's not a lot of risk. That safety shot that he played forced Mark into taking a pot on that he didn't really want to, and he's managed to get an opening. But the other part of the puzzle is he has to score as well if he's going to win this match. He knows that.
Well, surely imperative now that he gets involved in this match. He's had a few chances already. I think he's a confident character, Wilson. Can sort of get on his own case a little bit if things aren't going well. But he's so impressive last season at the Scottish Open in Edinburgh. Just seemed to find a nice groove for that tournament. Beat Ronnie O'Sullivan, the same for Faye, Karen Wilson, Tepchara Nu. And they finally played another player who hadn't won a tournament, Joe O'Connor, and won comfortably 9-2.
Yeah, he believes in himself, which is so important in any sport at the top level. He believes he's good enough to compete with the top players, but you've obviously got to go out and prove it, which he has done by winning that event. He's a better player when he plays quicker, I think, as well. Quite an attacking player. At the moment, this match, he's not been able to get into that rhythm, but that's an excellent shot he's just played there. No, this table it's lightning quick. I thought it was going to be perfect. Cue ball coming down in the exactly right path. Yeah, good shot. So now he has to take chances like this if he's going to win this match tonight.
$16. 17. 24. 25.
Played that shot well.
32.
Didn't have much angle in the black, but was able to force the cue ball to be. He's bridging over, but perfect on this red.
33.
He's seen his opponent with a similar, quite easy visit to win the frame, convert in the first frame. So it's important that you do the same when you've got the chance.
$40. 41. 48.
Rather strange business in Shanghai. Went out there as a member of the top 16, and he was
49.
5-2 down to Fang Zhengyi and tried to concede. Sorry, he's 4-2 down, tried to concede. He thought he was best of 9. He was actually best of 11. He did concede a frame later because he lost 6-2. This is first to 4, and this red
56.
should make it 1 each.
$57.
Well, it's 2
62.
snookers needed. Trying to make a plant here.
Gary Wilson,
So
62.
Williams is going to come back, but as I say, he needs 2 snookers. That was a pretty swift concession, wasn't it, when he missed the red? So Gary Wilson with a good 62. They've got himself on the scoreboard, and this is warming up to be, I think, a pretty close match this evening, playing for a place in the last 16. It's 1 each. Gary Wilson, 62, 1 each here in Cheltenham. As I say, playing for a place in the last 16 of the British Open, the winner to play Ding Junhui or Julien Leclerc. Fergal O'Brien has won the first frame against Matthew Stevens on table 3. Still 3 each, David Grace and Sanderson Lamb. That's the second match of the day on table 4.
Yeah, beautiful safety shot from Mark Williams.
Thank you.
Pace, cue ball direction, covering the left side of the table, which is the easier side to get the cue ball back to bulk.
John Higgins was saying before his match, obviously he did lose to Robbie Williams. It'd be the same for Mark Williams. When they were growing up as boys, the British Open was a huge tournament. First staging in 1985 had the highest ever first prize. for 50,000. It was beaten a few weeks later at the World Championship, but it was a big, big deal. And Williams, as I say, first won it in '97. Again, 2 years ago. Also been in 2 semi-finals and 2 quarter-finals in this event.
Well, has Mark Williams left this red to left corner? Incredible if he has. Not sure Gary can get on a colour after potting it. And he can.
1.
Incredible.
Yeah, he gave a slight wince, Williams, as he went back to his seat, which is as much of a reaction you'll get from him, but I think he knew he'd made a mistake.
Eight. Gary Wilson, 8.
So, be disappointed, I'm sure, not to make more there. Meantime, it looks like Sanderson Lamb is going to get the job done on table 4. He's 47 in front, 35 on against David Grace in the decider. Gary Wilson just coming around here. A lot of these reds covering one another to the left corner. Meanwhile, there is the end of the match on table 4. Sanderson Lamb and David Grace. They're good pals. They play at the Northern Snooker Centre together. It's Lamb who's won 4-3. But as I say, these reds all kind of covering one another. So the only one that's on looks like the one by the yellow.
One.
Decent pot. Didn't really get into the cue ball though. It's just hampered a little bit. playing for the brown by the yellow, and the cue ball is very close to the yellow itself to take that colour on. Didn't seem to get enough bite into the cue ball. Still on this brown. Not the best table, as you can see. Black is completely out of commission. Like to get that pink at least back into play.
5.
Won't be able to do it from this red, so back up the table for a bulk colour.
Six.
Well, I'd love to drop on the blue to right middle. That would be a bonus. The red that's in between pink and left corner, that's the one they'd like to drop on if possible, because obviously that clears the pink to be potable in that pocket. So kind of bring the cue ball down over the blue spot from this brown. Could use a cushion, of course. Played for the same red, but off a cushion. He's gone too far for the red that I was mentioning, so
10.
this one's fine. I think he can drop on the pink to right middle.
Eleven. Seventeen. Eighteen.
Well, Mark Williams looked good, I thought, in the first frame, but since then, a few errors have crept in, and the ready attempted with the rest, he got nowhere near. A little lucky not to leave an easy red on, but Wilson, as we saw, knocked in the long one.
24. 25.
Gary Wilson's another player who's made the foray into 9-ball pool this year, played in a couple of... On these tables, on these pockets, you've got to be so precise.
Thirty-one. 32.
'There's a red in the middle of the 5 below the pink that goes the right corner. The only thing with that red is, depending on the angle, getting the cue ball out of there for the next colour. He leaves the wrong
38.
angle on this, it could be a problem. He wants to be pretty much dead straight, I would suggest. And can't avoid other reds there, so this could go wrong. No, he's played it
39.
well. Controlled the screw beautifully. Can always go wrong when you've got to make contact with other balls, with a cue ball, in terms of position. And he seems to be in a rhythm at the moment. Looking good.
think the sort of character Gary Wilson is, you know, he was very proud to win that tournament last season, but
45.
he doesn't want that to be the peak of his career. He doesn't want to dine out on that for the rest of his life. He wants to win more, and I think the sort of jubilation of winning that went away pretty quickly, actually. Once he lost in the next tournament, he was disappointed again, which is a good way to be.
46.
Well, what a dream kiss that was.
Yeah, watch this cue ball. If he gets the kiss where he lands straight on the pink, then it's not easy at all to get back to the reds, but that was beautiful.
$52.
So, looking like 2-1. And he's just taken a bit of control. As I say, a couple of mistakes from Mark Williams are being punished.
53.
Remember, he's never beaten Mark Williams.
59.
4 previous meetings, all won by the Welshman. Some players and others. And certainly the longer it goes on, the harder it is to get a win.
6.
But certainly playing well enough here to suggest he can do it this evening.
Yeah, this has been an excellent visit to the table because it wasn't an easy one where the balls were situated. Started off with that
66.
nice red to the yellow pocket. And a nice positional shot off an awkward brown. And his concentration has been excellent
67.
in this break.
That's the other thing, you know, Gary Wilson is someone who wants to be on the main table. He doesn't want to hide away, you know, nick a few results on the outside table. He wants to be out in the middle. Very confident character. Took a long time, really, to make a big breakthrough. I mean, he was, what, 37 when he won that
73.
tournament.
$74.
So a
Gary
really
Wilson,
good 74
in
that
the
from
frame.
Gary Wilson. He's won the last 2 frames in impressive fashion, as he aims to send another big name tumbling here. He leads 2-1 to start. Ma Hailong and Hamad Mir. It's not their fault they haven't started. Obviously they've been waiting for that table to become free. In fact, Ashley Carty, who was involved in that marathon earlier with Daniel Oz, has got to play again today. After that match, he's got to play Graham Dott.
Maybe thinking about a speculative double. Won't be leaving anything on. And maybe have position on the black should it go in. 2 reds above the black. I'm not sure. Mark didn't come down to look. He may possibly be made into a plant to the left corner, but he didn't even bother to come down and look, and that's not the best safety shot he's ever played. I think he's left this one to right corner. If not, there's a choice of 2 to right middle, so that was a very poor shot from Mark Williams. It's not often that those stats are correct. But
1.
at this point in time, since the first frame, Gary Wilson is completely outplaying Mark Williams.
Yeah, I mean, it's a special concern, I think, for Williams if safety isn't on point, because he's got so much experience. He knows every shot in the book. It's not happening, though. Giving Wilson openings. Gary Wilson just made a very nice 74 in the last.
6.
Yeah, and it's a lovely feeling when you've played so well in the last 2 frames, a 60 and a 70, and then you just get presented
7.
another lovely chance in the very next frame. Just basically want to just gobble up these chances. Different from the previous frame. Black in the open
10.
this time. Much more orthodox opportunity to score.
Yeah, and he's a heavy scorer. He's made 4 maximums in tournament play. He once made 4 centuries in a row, the UK Championship.
11.
One of those players, I think, if he finds a groove, you know, he looks really, really good. As I say, sometimes if he's not quite clicking, he can get a bit down on himself because puts all that work in. He's always practicing, sort of the anti-Luca Bracel in some ways. He's always practicing, Gary, and he wants that work to pay off, of course.
18. 19.
Yeah, I think players like Gary, all the players that are round about the sort of 16 ranking,
26.
certainly will have paid attention to what Ryan Day achieved last season. He just managed to hang around to the weekend and, as I said, only played a top 16 player in the final and won that. And the opportunities, that I mean, it
27.
basically just turned around his career. He was in everything. So players like Gary who are in that sort of periphery, what an opportunity this week can bring with success.
$34. 35.
Choices here. He can go into the bunch, but there's a red to the left that he may choose to play for first. In fact, there's one at the bottom of the bunch that goes to the left corner, and opportunity possibly to bring more reds
42.
into play from this. Again, when the cue ball's going into other balls, it can go wrong.
43.
And it almost has. Wanted that cue ball to 3 or 4 inches. The red that's to the left of the bunch, cannon on that one would be ideal. Would leave one to right corner. Nice pot. Chose to play the screw shot, which he was always leaving the cue ball
50.
low. He was always going to be on this, but leaving that cue ball close to the cushion obviously makes this so much more difficult, this pot.
Gary Wilson, 50.
It was a huge shot in this match, wasn't it? 50-0 up, 2-1 up. If it goes in, it's probably 3-1. But he's handed exactly what Williams needed, which is a relatively easy starter to re-establish himself. Look at that, 31.5 minutes since he potted the ball. And it didn't look,
1.
as Wilson was going along there, like he would pot one in this frame.
Six. Seven.
May play a cannon into the red that's just to the right of the pink here. Decided to play for red to right middle.
14.
I don't really enjoy predicting the way Mark Williams plays, because he plays a different game, certainly to what I did and to what I think
15.
a lot of the top players do in terms of break building. Doesn't really go into the reds if he doesn't have to. Prefers to use his touch and talent just to play for single reds.
$22. $23.
Well, he's made some great clearances, as all the great players have down the years, and this one would turn the match back in his favour. It was looking for all the world like 3-1.
$30. $31.
Very first time at the Crucible, 97, he made a lovely clearance to beat another great Welsh player, Terry Griffiths, 10-9 in the opening round on the black. He's come straight though here.
$36. $37.
I presume one or both of these reds are available to left corner.
$44. $45.
This is where top match temperament comes into its own. Okay, he's not done it yet, but he's been sat out basically for 2
52.
frames. Played a couple of bad shots to let his opponent in. But you forget all that when you get your opportunity
53.
to win the frame, you take it. Okay, he's not done it yet because he's landed a little bit wrong angle on the blue. It's just showing what phenomenal match temperament he has to forget what's gone before. I would have to say first
58.
pot of this break that I suppose could be missed. Everything's been pretty much under control up to now.
60.
Potted the yellow thick. Didn't put it in the middle of the pocket. That's why the cue ball hasn't travelled to be perfectly on the green.
$63.
Well, it's become a bit of an adventure, but brown and blue needed. A
67.
few years ago, as an experiment to see how players responded to pressure, they put a heart rate monitor on Mark Williams to see how it would change in a match. But it didn't change. It was exactly the same as it had been earlier that day. The man is so cool, and he's shown it again here. A break
72.
that was badly needed. It might not have had the chance to make it. Gary Wilson was in. He missed that key red opening of the reds on 50. And Mark Williams, who'd made a few errors prior to that, stepped in. Cool as you like. Didn't need the pink.
Mark Williams,
Gary Wilson is going to come back, but 22 behind. He needs 2 snookers.
So a one-handed shot to try and drop the pink in.
Yeah, Gary's not going to keep that one out, is he? So he has conceded.
Mark Williams.
It was a great break that from Williams. 50-0 down 72. And it's game on again here with a possible 3 frames to play. 2-2. Wilson lost his way. Williams made the great 72. And we're all square.
5. Gary Wilson to break. Foul. Mark Williams, 4.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't actually potted a long ball yet tonight.
Well, this red may look on your screens like it's pretty much over the pocket, but that view gives you a better look at how difficult this shot is. Virtually no pocket to aim for whatsoever. Well, we've seen a few times in this table this week, and you can miss a shot when it just wriggles and stays in the vicinity of the pocket, doesn't come away.
1.
Yeah, that pocket bottom left of your screen is pretty brutal, actually. Williams, again, I think thought he got it. May just be on this red, close to the
6.
pocket.
Yeah, didn't go into them fully committed at the harder pace, but he's had the desired result. He's on the red. Really disappointing things that red's gone next to the black spot, but that's should he get the right angle on the next colour. That shouldn't be difficult to get
7.
on, and that would be the ideal red.
The only thing about the last frame, obviously, he was disappointed to lose it from 15-0 up. The red he took on, he had to take it on. He knew it was risky, but also if he got it, he'd probably win the frame. It wasn't easy. White was on the side cushion.
13.
Not like he missed a sitter.
Could decide to go into the pinks, but the red's here. But I think he'll play for the red that's near the black spot.
Eighteen.
If he gets the same angle in the blue this time, I think he'll be very tempted to play the split. Looking at what else is available. Perhaps a red at the bottom of the bunch goes to right corner. The red that's closest to the cue ball now obviously is available.
Nineteen.
Now landing straight on the blue limits his options.
Twenty-four. 25.
Played that very nicely. Now he may be able to screw into the bunch from this black. Maybe not. So that end red that you see, bottom left, it's definitely on that red, I think.
32. 33.
Where he's landed in a cue ball, again, limits his options. He's got to go into the bunch here. And don't take your eyes off the pot.
40. $41. $46.
He'll be furious with himself there. Playing this with the left-hand side, you can see the side take effect. He just didn't judge it right at all. Played for the red that's closest to the cue ball now. I mean, it still cuts, but yeah, he's taking his medicine. But he'll be disappointed again. That's the last two frames he's been in with a good chance to win the frame in one visit and hasn't converted those chances. He'll be a little bit frustrated.
Doesn't want this in. This cue ball. Even so, red's gone close to the pocket. Not sure he can get through to it. It's a swerve. Well, there's the pot success. You know, it's 2 each, but Wilson 7% up. But that can still change, of course. A chance for Williams then again to counter-attack, as he did in the last frame.
He has to split into the bunch here. And then he's got a pot to either right middle or far right corner.
8.
Played this nicely. Yeah, I just think Gary played that swerve quite quickly. He didn't really have a good look at it. He basically just got down. Maybe out of frustration of not converting his chance. Maybe the fact that Mark had left him behind the blue. I don't know, but didn't seem to play it with a lot of care and attention.
9.
I mean, he didn't play it badly. Pretty close. But it was just the fact that it didn't really weigh up the situation for me.
$13.
Wouldn't be the easiest break to try and win the frame at this visit, but you can see these four reds in the middle of the table will be right back into the frame.
$14. $21. $22. 28. 29.
'Wow. Hope that wasn't Storm Agnes rolling in. Loud noise from somewhere.
35. 36.
So now is when this break starts to get a little bit more difficult. Oh, that was beautiful. Beautiful touch. For a second, I thought the cue ball wasn't going to make the
42.
journey to be on this red, but it was just to perfection.
$43.
I mean, it looks a simple enough shot, but the blue just makes it tricky. And even though, again, the red looks like it was easy, but you had to be right behind it to make it unmissable. So the big shot now in this frame, does he play to get on it, or does he play to move the last red? It's the latter. Has he got it? Just didn't get a thick enough contact. But he's now 4 points
46.
ahead in this frame.
So close to getting on this red, and that was basically you feel frame over had he done so.
This situation, you would fancy someone like Mark Williams putting Gary in a lot of trouble from this situation. Be very surprised if Gary's able to see the red the next time he comes to the
Mark
table.
Williams, 46.
Well, he can. It's not Mark's best.
Just quickly, it's 3-1 to Hussein Vafai on table 2 against Yuan Shijun.
Standing rest, please.
He's about as far away from the cue ball as you can be on a snooker table. It's not much less than the full 12 feet. Careful he doesn't do himself an injury playing this shot.
Well, shout, go on, Gary. I'm not sure what he's supposed to do here, really, but Williams got all the way. That was the other thing with that shot. 10-hole frame, another frame where Wilson was in front. Of course, he was 50 in front in the last. He was 42 in front in this.
No, to be fair, he's played 2 containing safety shots and he's played them both very well, Gary Wilson. Mark Williams had control of this little safety exchange, but he's given that up with that shot. Gary can play something a little bit more proactive now. But that is a very, very careless shot.
Wow, that is a surprise. He'd won the sort of psychological duel, hadn't he? Earned the chance and misses the red. What a reprieve this is for Gary Wilson.
Well, is it possible for Mark Williams to come off this top cushion and maybe the side cushion and flick this red into the middle? You would think if he hits the red, a decent chance it's going to go in.
Foul and a miss. Gary
Doesn't want
Wilson
the free
for
ball.
free ball.
Now the blues stopping the brown going into left middle, so risk putting Mark back in and Mark potting it the next time. I think you've got to have a pot at the green. You're not leaving the red. It's the positive shot. You're looking possibly the green goes in off the red into the middle. Doesn't look it from that angle. You don't want to overthink this. If you don't fancy the pot, put Mark back in, but the longer you think about it, sometimes that
Green ball.
can put negative thoughts. I think he knew the shot straight away, Gary, but just outthought himself there.
Well, he was completely disgusted with that, as you saw. Another chance for Williams. He's already missed this red to the green pocket.
Yeah, he's probably going to play for the green here.
One.
Now, it looks straightforward, but he's got to play this at some pace to get the cue ball up the table for the yellow. This is missable. Doesn't look it from there, does it? He's going to hit it hard. Yeah, didn't really give it everything, but he's on the yellow.
4. Six. Nine.
These are two frames that Gary Wilson was in control of. And it looks like he's going to lose them both. No
13.
one's saying that. Mark is not perfect on this blue by any stretch.
But in it goes, and this is certainly going to hurt Wilson more than the previous frame. It was just one shot in the last one that gave Williams a chance. But in this one, it was much harder fought on that last red. This time it's one snooker needed, though.
Mark Williams, 18.
Same shot. Inner over. So difficult to get a snooker when the snooker in ball, the black in this case, is in the middle of the table. Decent effort. Good line.
Oh, Mark Williams has battled away here. He's not been at his very best, but what a great competitor he is. And in goes the pink. Two big frames to win, particularly this one. As I say, they had a long battle on that last red. Mark Williams had a go at it, but Gary Wilson's error let him in again. And on the important score, the frame score is leading 3-2. Gary Wilson could have won it by now. He's 50 points in front. A couple of frames ago, he was 42 points in front in the last, but lost them both. The winner plays Ding Junhui or Julien Leclerc in the last 16.
One.
Fully committed to that. red. I knew he was leaving Mark Williams an opportunity. I had missed it. Not out of the woods yet. Good shot.
Eight. Nine.
Well, that nice long red start.
16.
This is giving himself an excellent chance.
17. Twenty-four.
3 reds, 3 blacks. Ball's in an ideal situation.
25.
Oh,
How's that doing that?
Gary Wilson,
afraid-
25.
that's unforgivable.
One.
Well, Mark Williams has had an absolute nightmare there if he's not in a red.
8.
Incredible. Maybe on this thin one to the left corner. But he would have certainly expected something easier. If he did land on something easier, you would think it was the end of the match.
Yeah, fantastic. What a
9.
shot maker Mark Williams is. One of the very best we've ever seen. And of course he's doing it here at the real business end of matches that marks out the great players. So he's got his chance to get it won. Well, the pink doesn't quite spot, but it's going to go as close to its spot as it can. Louise Kratz, our referee, just sorting that out.
15.
Yeah, as I said earlier, he first played in the British Open 30 years ago, Mark Williams. He's a teenage prospect up-and-comer. He's already
16.
had a glorious career. He could put his cue down tomorrow. He'd be a legend of the sport, but clearly at the top level, he's still got plenty more to give.
Twenty-one.
Little wry smile to himself. He knew he shouldn't have been hampered by this yellow in playing this red. Should have been straightforward.
22.
But fortunately had a natural angle think those will just drop on the black.
$29. $30.
Not sure if the red is touching the pink is available to left corner. Looks like it is. So see, I think from this shot, yep, obviously goes. So it's only really the problem of the three reds
37.
that are bunched together that you would think is going to affect winning the match here and now at this
38.
visit. Again, he doesn't want to be dead straight in this blue because he can't follow the cue ball through because he'll snooker himself on the red to left middle. And then he'll maybe go a little bit too far for the other red to the green pocket. So that's why he's looking at the green now. Just not got complete control of the cue ball in this break.
$41. $42.
Although he's on the blue with another red to pot, he'll already be thinking about the plan to open those three reds up. That's actually quite a clever shot because if the blue doesn't spot, it goes between its own spot and the black cushion, which means when he pots this red, he'll have an angle on the blue.
It's not the easiest for the referee to actually get across here to measure this spot.
Sorry, just one.
Yeah, he can irritate his opponent, smart ones. He's even irritating the ref, I think, where he's left that cue ball.
47. $48.
Oh, he's looking at his tip, and he almost miscued there. But it's end of break. Yeah, I think he almost miscued. He got enough of the tip onto the cue ball to pot the red, but end of break is after this next shot, or he may not even be playing a pot here.
Mark Williams, 48. Foul and a
Maybe
miss.
pink.
Mark Williams, 6.
Back we go. And while these are replaced, Yuanci John's pulled one back on table 2. It's 3-2 now to Hussein Vafai there. 2-2 Matthew Serval O'Brien And one each, Hamad Mir and Mahai Long. Mir had that great win, of course, on table 1 against yesterday. He's out on table 4 tonight, trying to back that up with another good performance.
Mark. Oh. Do you want it checking or? You happy?
I think
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Williams says he's not sure where it was, so he's allowing them to decide. Okay, see this one to the middle. It's already 29 in front. He's trying to keep things as tight as he can and get this match won. It's not won it yet, but it just shows you how hard it is to make a breakthrough. This class of 92, they're just refusing to budge, aren't they? You know, it always seems to be at least one of them lurking in the draw somewhere. Ronnie wasn't here. John got knocked out. Mark Williams, the last man standing.
No, he's left a red to the far right corner. Gary Wilson's long game hasn't been on it tonight. 1 out of 6 he's potted. And that's another one that's missed thin, actually. It's been the same result pretty much for all of them. It's left Mark Williams' tempter to the left corner, but the only thing taking it on is pretty much guaranteed to leave a pot on for his opponent. That's why he screwed the cue ball back down the table. Well, that was a strange shot. He had to leave this red for Mark to right middle. He had to know that that was going to happen. It's far from easy.
Matthew Stevens from 2-0 down. He's 3-2 up now against Fergal O'Brien on table 3.
Yeah, it's just that part of his game tonight has just let him down badly.
One.
Oh, with the best part of 8 minutes on that red, eventually Mark Williams knocks it in. So 36 the lead with this pink. He needs one more red as well. This is the one. He could have lost both of the last 2 frames, but as ever, he's shown his mettle. You just can't rattle Mark Williams. He's so tough mentally.
8.
He's genuinely a laid-back character, but get him in the arena, he's hard as nails. It looks like a repeat then of the final of this tournament 2 years ago when he won by 2 frames against Wilson. Checking the scores, he's 44 to the good, so 3 snookers required. Wilson, I think we know, is going to play on. But not if this goes in. And of course, he doesn't want to pot it. That's the thing, Wilson. He's got a clever shot, really,
15.
leaving it either in the pocket or over. Because the only chance you've really got from here is the free ball. And you need to keep the red on the table for that.
1.
Well, he's going to give it a go, but it's a very tall order from here. Mark Williams made a quick exit, didn't he, from our
5.
interview yesterday with Rob, but not from this tournament. He's still going into the last
Gary
16,
Wilson, 5.
barring snookers. Ding Junwheel, Julian Leclerc. It's an intriguing one either way. He's in a snooker here.
Yeah, it's a nasty one as well. I'm not sure that Mark can play the swerve round the 4 colours down the middle of the table. Bolt cushion and hit the yellow directly. If it's a 2 cushion escape, it's not easy. And he's obviously going to play it dead weight because he doesn't want to leave a free ball. Bring the cue ball down this end of the table, so even if he misses it or hits it, he's going to be in trouble again, you would think.
Foul. Gary Wilson, 4.
Well, there's one of them. So 35 in it, 27 on.
Yeah.
Oh, he's disappointed. That was a serious chance to get in tight behind the green.
Two. Five.
Yeah, Gary Wilson threw the extension under the table as Mark was at the table. Not the best, but not going to bother Mark. He's in the next round.
5. Frame it.
Yes, he is. Mark Williams fought back well, 2-1 down, 50 behind. He made a great clearance in that frame. He was behind in the next. He survived the battle in frame 6 as well. So the champion here 2 years ago, Mark Williams, is into the last 16. He's beaten Gary Wilson 4-2, and we've got all the reaction coming up next.